Therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual with the bound over for General Sessions Court for more charges.
At the time of all these crimes, I don't know what is going through these convicts' minds. Are their heads wired differently than normal people's? I mean, what gives these convicts the abilities to go through such horrible crimes? Well, because our last video on here, top 10 convicts who freaked out after given a life sentence, went super viral with over 700 views in last days. I decided to create this video for you guys. If you want to watch that, yes, and click right over here. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. So I do feel really sad for these teenagers who you're about to see, who were given life sentences. But when you find out the crimes that they have committed, I mean, do we really feel bad for them? How long do you guys think life sentences should be? Let me know in the comment section below. I know in different countries, it's different. In Finland, the life sentence, since his 12 years, in France is 30 years. Okay, so here are the top 5 teenagers who freaked out after given a life sentence. Number 5. That was 17-year-old Dylan Shymaker who fatally beat his girlfriend's 23-month-old son. I mean, is this real life right now? I watched videos about this kid's case and his lawyers were trying to justify that. Dylan has an anger problem. He didn't mean to kill the 23-month-old baby. He didn't know how to control himself. I'm not sure why there are lawyers defending people like this, you know, defending killers. That little baby didn't have a chance at life. What is his lawyers thinking? What are they fighting for?
But there were other dynamics at work there, including my client's inability to either control his anger or frustration and his inexperience in babysitting.
So this took place in Buffalo in the States, and jurors convicted Dylan of second-degree murder. The judge sentenced him to 15 years to life in prison, which is the maximum punishment in Buffalo. Alright, number 4. We have this girl who freaked out after she was given a life sentence. She was hyperventilating. So just before the panic attacks were happening, this girl fell to the ground and she started yelling in the courtroom. The woman's family was also freaking out. Number 3. I know it's hard to understand what this kid is saying, but he's begging for forgiveness. It's a hard video to watch. I know people make mistakes, but killing someone isn't something that society can forgive. Or can they? Well, that was 17-year-old John Freeman, who was saying sorry to the victim's family after he strangled a 5-year-old girl to death. I mean, in that moment, was he really sorry?
I'm just sorry. John, is there anything you want to say before sentencing?
This also took place near Buffalo, and he was given 25 years to life. And this is for a second-degree murder in which John Freeman pleaded guilty to. So when John turns 42 years old, a judge will determine whether or not John is a danger to himself or to society and if he's going to be released. Hopefully, if he is released, he's a changed person. Number 2. You couldn't see the guy I'm talking about during this part of the video, but who you're about to see is 19-year-old Dexter Johnson. He raged out in court when he was given the death sentence. I guess he has nothing else to lose. The jurors convicted Dexter Johnson of capital murder. Dexter was involved in a carjacking, robbery, rape and murder of 23-year-old Maria A. Paris. Dexter is now 28 years old and he does not have an execution date. Although someone is given the death penalty, it takes a very long time to go through the whole process.
Punishment of death. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is going to complete your jury service. I'm going to meet you in the jury room.
All right.
And finally, number 1. We now have teenager Samantha Grigg, who was charged for murdering a Michigan State University student, Dustin Froka. This case just doesn't seem to make sense to me. 6-year-old Samantha at the time decided to plan a kidnapping to rob and kill Froka. I mean, she's 16, How do you have these thoughts? She had someone help her as well, and that was 18-year-old Tyrell Breder Nitz.
Grigg pleaded guilty to unarmed robbery and manslaughter in Frolka's death. The 19-year-old's body was found along I-69 last February. He had been beaten with brass knuckles, robbed.
So the reason why this doesn't make sense because it does seem like Samantha had a really bright future. She threw it all away. She was actually a lead singer of her band, and she was actually quite good.
Or in a band.
Well, there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much watching this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.